Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Getting Over the Hump show. This show will be designated to updates and a recap of major stories. Now, the biggest story worldwide for nearly a year has been the Ukrainian war. The invasion began on February 24th, but the war dates all the way back to February 20th, 2014. But we're going to stick to the invasion and its results for today. The invasion started because Russia was worried about Ukraine joining NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization that was formed after World War II to combat growing communism in Eastern Europe. In the very early days of the war, Russia dominated and gained territorial victories to add to Crimea, which they annexed in 2014. However, the title of the war quickly turned against them. The Ukrainians stubbornly defended their territory with the help of NATO countries who poured billions of dollars of defense aid into their efforts to push out the invaders. The Ukrainians have marketed significant takebacks of land and have basically stopped the Russian invasion in its tracks. They have even driven Russian armies out of many positions in eastern Ukraine, but the Russians are now targeting citizens and infrastructure. Bombing cities and towns, concentrating on electrical genetical facilities and water plants is what they're doing for now. As the war nears its second year, it is clear now that it will be difficult for Russia to continue the fight. They are resting their hopes on the freezing Ukraine into submission. This, to many countries, is considered a war crime. We shall see how it all unfolds in the coming months. That's all I have for world news, so now we'll head to Rachel for an update on national news. Rachel?
Thanks, Colin. According to the Washington Post, gun violence has now replaced automobile accidents as the leading cause of death for children and teens. It is clear that this is a huge problem. One only needs to look at the history of just school shootings in the United States. Columbine, Sandy Hook, Parkland, and more recently, Uvalde, are all examples of scores of young people who have been slaughtered in classrooms by weapons of war. Something must be done to stem the tide of rising gun deaths. Children are suffering. This is only one part of a larger problem. Synagogues, LGBTQ nightclubs, movie theaters, and even concerts are now open targets for crazed people with grievances and long military-style weapons. Something has to be done in order to stop this trend. Losing hundreds of children across our country and snuffing out innocent lives is senseless. Is it time for universal background checks? How about banning assault weapons? The next Congress has a lot on its plate, but nothing more pressing than protecting our children. When we return, you'll hear from Wyatt with State News. You are watching The Goth Show.
McDonald's of Montrose is a family-friendly franchise. Along with all-day smiles, McDonald's offers all-day breakfast. Order from the counter, the drive-thru, the McDonald's app, or the new kiosk. The Deanna family restaurants are still your breakfast, burger, and beverage destination. Bring in the little ones and enjoy a Happy Meal. Come on in any time of the day and join our family here at the McDonald's of Montrose.
Welcome back. I'm Wyatt with State News. Yesterday, students from our chapter of the National Honor Society made their annual trip to the Salvation Army in Flint. The students packed and helped with food giveaways, dinners, and wrapping Christmas packages. It seems that it was a great time. Doing community service at the Salvation Army is just one of the many projects performed by the National Honor Society. These students are proof that there is always time to help others in need. Thanks to Miss Messing and all of her NHS members. Owen, I understand that you have some not-so-happy news for us.
Sadly, you are right, Wyatt. Hello, everyone. I'm Owen with Local News. Last Monday, the Montrose community lost a from Noah and Jack with sports.
Let Mr. T's Mobile Repair of Montrose be your first choice when you're in need of a medium or heavy-duty truck or hydraulic repair. We're fully staffed with an experienced crew of technicians ready to take on any job. Bring your vehicle to us, or we'll come to you. That's Mr. T's Mobile Repair of Montrose, loyal supporters of Montrose Athletics, and ready to take on all of your medium or heavy-duty truck and hydraulic repairs.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Noah Gross, bringing you a rundown of the Detroit Lions season. Heading into the 2022-2023 season, the Detroit Lions did not have high expectations at all. With a terrible 3-win season last year, it appeared that the Lions would only have the draft to look forward to. Well, the losing paid off. The Lions were able to snatch Michigan defensive end Aiden Hutchinson with the second pick in the draft. Then they traded up and took star wideout Jamison Williams with the 12th pick overall. The Lions looked revamped and ready for the 2022 season, with returning stars like Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and many more young stars. And with Dan Kimball at the helm, the Lions looked ready. Well, they thought they were. After a close loss to the Philadelphia Eagles and a win against the Commanders, the Lions looked steady at 1-1. But then, the Lions were hit hard with a 5-game losing streak. The Lions were 1-6 and at the bottom of the NFC North until they earned a turnaround win against the Green Bay Packers. In the last 6 weeks, the Lions have gone 5-1, leaving them at an even 7 wins against 7 losses. Their most recent game resulted in an exciting game that came down to the final kick against the Jets on Sunday, where they managed to hold the Jets to a missed 58-yard field goal to win the game. Now they sit on the brink of the playoffs. The Lions will travel to North Carolina Sunday to take on the Panthers. Kickoff is slated for 1 p.m. That is going to do it for the Lions. Now over to Jack with Hometown Sports. Jack?
Thanks, Noah. Hello, everyone. I'm Jack with Hometown Sports. We finally have some Montrose sports to cover. The varsity girls team is currently 1-3 on the year. In the last game, the Lady Rams hosted and faced off with the Byron Eagles. The Lady Rams fought hard the entire game and coming out with their first win with a final score of 53-12. Tonight, the Lady Rams will take on the Panthers of Mount Morris at Mount Morris, looking for another win. Remember that the game can be seen on MDM-TV.com. The varsity boys basketball team is 2-1 on the year. One Friday, the Rams faced off with the Byron Eagles, and the Rams went back and forth but ended taking the game away from the Eagles, finishing the game with a final score of 59-7. Leading the scoreboard for the Rams was Even Hockey with 20 points, who also shot 44% from Bend the Arc. Gopher Allen also chipped in 13 for the Rams. The boys will also go on the attack against Mount Morris Panthers tonight at 7 p.m. Watch the game on MDMTV.com. That's going to do it for sports. Now over to Peyton with this week's announcements.
Good afternoon. I'm Peyton, back with this week's school announcements. The Segment 1 Driver's Education course will begin in March. If you would like to reserve your spot, please see Mr. Lunny for a contract. The National Weather Service is predicting between 12 to 15 inches of snow and very cold temperatures on Thursday. Please stay safe if you are going out and stay warm. By the way, there will be a township meeting at the Montrose Township Hall today at 6 p.m. If there is anything you want to request, please visit the meeting. To all the girls that are playing soccer this spring, there will be a meeting tomorrow at lunch in Mr. Perrin's room. If you have any questions about broadcasting, please visit MDMTV.com for updated schedules, pictures, and digital media announcements. Make sure to check out our Facebook and follow us on Twitter. That's all for today. Have a great week. We will see you after Christmas break. Now here's Colin with the final word.
Thanks, Peyton, and thank you all for tuning in to the Getting Over the Hump show. We'll be back after Christmas break for a few weeks, and we will return with the Friday show on January 13th. So make sure you save the date. For more news, sports, and school updates, as always, I've been Colin O'Gorry with the Getting Over the Hump show, and from the entire MDM TV crew to you, thank you, and good night.